Destoroyah versus Void Ghidorah. Two of Godzilla's greatest foes, Destoroyah and Ghidorah, go head to head. They're the strongest incarnations of both fight against each other. Now, I've done one video on this, which was kind of crappy, which is why we're doing a rematch, because I said I didn't have an objective winner in that one. So, I'm like, you know what, I'll do a rematch on this. About a year later, here we are. So, after, all of you have watched my Heisei scaling video, if you haven't, click off this video and go watch it right now. But if you already have, then feel free to go ahead and stay and just listen to me ramble on about who wins this fight. So, let's go ahead and start off with Void Ghidorah. Now, I know what all of you are thinking, but Void Ghidorah can't be hit, so Destoroyah automatically loses, and Void Ghidorah is the strongest thing ever. He's out of versatile level. No, he isn't. All right, calm down. We're having a organ spasm. All right, I don't want to hear it right now. Okay, you just need to calm down. Let me do my part, and then you can go ramble on in the comments so I can beat you up. Anyways, Void Ghidorah is basically said to be able to devour the entire universe, and that the universe is a sacrifice to him. Now, this is already a pretty easily universal plus feat. There's also statements of Void Ghidorah being on a higher dimensional level on 4 separate occasions. He's also said to transcend the 3rd dimension. So overall, this would make Void 4-dimensional. But then he also has access to super gravity, and super gravity, as you guys know, is a higher dimensional weapon. So overall, this would make Void Ghidorah 5-dimensional off super gravity, 4-dimensional without it. So, adding on to the fact, a couple of his abilities is the fact that, he doesn't transcend the laws of physics, but he basically exists on a plane where physics basically don't apply to him. So you have to basically either transcend physics or also not apply to the laws of physics in order to hit him. He also has energy absorption, which was shown when he was biting into Godzilla Earth, and he started absorbing his energy. Now, someone told me this, but you can also get absolute destruction off of, Void being able to devour the entire universe, leaving nothing, which would get him absolute destruction, which would at least be a multiversal feat, or multiversal hacks, I should say. I'm trying to think if there's any other hacks that oh yeah, he's able to create black holes. And yes, they were confirmed to be black holes. Don't worry about it. They weren't portals, they were black holes. But that's about all I can remember for him. Now moving on to Destoroyah. Destoroyah is basically stated. Okay, so we all know how Space Godzilla is superior to everyone Godzilla previously fought, as Godzilla grows stronger with each passing day and during fights. Space Godzilla basically said to absorb and use infinite energy, which would already make the Heisei universe high-dimensional on a 3-dimensional scale. Or sorry, not high-dimensional, high-universal on a 3-dimensional scale. However, we have statements of Space Godzilla being able to transcend the laws of physics, which would be a baseline 5-dimensional feat, as physics would include space and time, so this is at least 5-dimensional. But to make this even more consistent, we have the fact that Space Godzilla also has access to super gravity, which would also make him 5-dimensional again, since all the Heisei Kaiju upscale the Showaverse. We also have the fact that burning is stated to, and now I'm going to talk about burning, because Chura obviously is about burning, and etc., etc. Now, burning is basically stated to have the power not seen since the dawn of the universe, which would already put his power equal to that of the Big Bang. You also have the fact that his power is also more than every single nuclear weapon put together. You also have the fact that burn is also stated to also use infinite energy, which increases with each use, aka the infinite heat ray. Burning Godzilla's amp was also stated to be was calced to be 198 times the power than his previous amp. So, if you guys remember from the How Powerful is Heisei, the Rodent Fusion amp, which ranged from 71,000 to 461,000, this would put Burning's power hundreds of millions of times above his previous amps. Now, this scale was done by one of my friends, Devin. So basically, he scaled Burning to infinitely 6-dimensional off of the fact that if Godzilla was originally a 3-dimensional dinosaur, Gorosaurus, mutates into a 4-dimensional kaiju that he's above in the Heisei era. Logically, is 5D after Space Godzilla. Then he should logically be 6D after the meltdown amp and all of that. I don't know. I threw it up on screen, so I didn't read it word for word, but I think you guys understand what I'm saying. But let's get into the conclusion on who I think wins this fight. Now, this is a really interesting fight that I'm still somewhat 50-50 on, but I think I'm going to have to go with Destoroyah on this one. I know what you guys are saying, like, boo, Void Ghidorah is above Des for this and this reason, blah, he's outer versal level, he's sated to a blah. I don't care, alright? I'm here to explain why, alright? So, quit throwing tomatoes, carrots, and whatever else you can find off the floor, like pennies, and quit throwing them at me, okay? But I mean, if you want to throw me some pennies just for free money, I'll take it. But anyways, that's besides the point. Now, the reason I had Destoroyah winning, right? You guys, I know the first thing you guys are thinking. But Void Void doesn't apply to the laws of physics, so how could Destoroyah even, hit him? Well, if you're paying attention, you would know that Space Godzilla is able to transcend the laws of physics. So, logically, Destoroyah being above Space Godzilla based off of statements and just scaling to a stronger Godzilla in general, who beat Space, he would logically be able to hit Void since both of them are above physics, right? So they would both be able to hit each other. They both have energy absorption. Destoroyah has it through his tail, and Void has it through his 3 heads. But the main reason I have Void winning, even if you don't use the infinite 6D statement, which would put him above Void, even if you didn't use that, I would still give it to Destoroyah. For number one, since his power is above that of Space's and Burning before the meltdown, this would already put him at infinitely 5-dimensional. Well, unlike Void, who's just 5-dimensional, not infinitely 5-dimensional. But Destoroyah has, if you guys remember in the fight, he also has translations. Destoroyah is basically able to absorb the DNA of an opponent. Okay, so think of him like Orga, right? You all remember how Orga bit into Godzilla, absorbed his spikes before he got blown up, right? Basically think that as a Destoroyah. Destoroyah can absorb your DNA, your cells, stuff like that, right? Basically add that to him to help his evolution and just grow stronger. Which is literally shown in the fight. So, even without the direct translations, it's just shown. So he can kind of just absorb, Void's DNA and stuff like that, add it to himself. But Des also just has better hacks, in my opinion, than Void. Now, I know Void has, energy. They both have energy absorption. Both are above physics, blah, blah, blah. But Destoroyah is just better in hand-to-hand combat. Also, Destoroyah is smart, right? So, the horn, katana, or whatever you want to call it, and all of his other abilities would be really useful against Void, especially. Now, I can give you guys reasons on why you would probably think Void wins. And I think that's mainly just because of pure size, but also just a bunch of his abilities, which are useful, right? I'm not trying to downplay Void in any way here. I don't want you guys to think that I'd be like, oh, but you're just a Void hater, you just hate the Earth trilogy, which I do, but that doesn't mean I hate Void. I don't want you guys to think of me as some guy, right? Just because I don't agree with your opinion, that doesn't make me invalid in any way, or that I'm simply hating on a character. I'm not, okay? I want you guys to understand that, alright? So, overall, I think I'd probably give this one to Destoroyah. If you guys want to argue for Void, I can completely understand that. So, honestly, you can leave it 50-50, but I think I have the edge more to Destoroyah just based off of multipliers, the infinitely 5D and infinitely 6D stuff, while Void is just 5D. So, he already has higher scaling. But, even without that, you guys can really argue either way. It really doesn't matter. Now, here's one thing I do want to note. Super gravity is not 11 to 12 dimensional, okay? It's been debunked. Alright? It is not high complex multiversal. Anyways, before I end off this video, I want to say Thank you to Bruce for editing my past couple YouTube videos. You guys should go think of it down in the comments for editing. He's been working pretty hard whenever he doesn't have school to edit them. So that allows me to, 1, record, and 2, play games while he records, and I can hang out with friends, do my homework and stuff like that. So I just want you guys to thank him. You know, he's what's happening. No, I can't speak. He is what is. Forget what I'm saying. He's just the person that's allowing me to get more uploads out lately than I usually do. Thank you guys. Excuse my bad English. I just can't talk today. I've been recording that. I'm literally recording this at 7 p.m. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Be on the lookout that this Goku vs. Heisei Part 2 is coming out a little later this week. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Sunday. Guess you guys will find out. See ya.